So I've turned off the inverter, and I'm just going to get a seat and just point at this thing. So we have here, what do we have? We have, at the very bottom, we have two little red struts, or pillars, whatever you want to call them. So they're to get me off the tiles. And I've two on the front and two in on the back. And that gives me the height of my first level of the platform. Then I've three of these very strong posts, and both of these sets of posts I cut with an angle grinder. It's difficult, but it's very rewarding. You know, you can get them quite cheaply in some of the places like Lidl or, you know, even your normal hardware store. They're a very useful tool to have, an angle grinder. So I was able to cut 4 bits of metal accurately and 3 bits of toughened steel with the angle grinder, with not too much difficulty. And then I have 2 scaffold boards, and these are standard scaffold boards. I bought 2 of them at the time, and they're brilliant. Like, I have one in the front room on my desk. So the bit on the desk in the front room is the remains from cutting 2 of 1 scaffold board, these 2 lengths. And these lengths are just about a metre. It's just about a metre to fit inside my door. And just about a metre fits my 4 marine kind of deep cycle, roughly 100 amp hours, you could call them. So we've got 800 amp hours there between the 4 sets of 2, 800 amp hours. And I can connect them in different configurations. And I have a couple of serious inverters to play with it, one from Germany and one from China. And they're both quite different, and they both have some brilliant features that kind of complement each other. You know, so I'm going to look forward to using those. In some instances, one is far better than the other, and in other instances, the other is far better, depending on your application. So I'd be interested to play with them. And then down the bottom here, when I go out here, out at the end of the wall, so here we have, these are my batteries, and that is my sidewall. And I'm going to put a hole in the sidewall. And outside I have a shed, but between the side of the house and the shed there's a concrete path. So I'm going to cut a channel in it for this thing. It's a serious kind of grid. I could drive a tractor over that. It's a British standard. So I'm just kind of interested, as well, as if you look at it from the side, that most people will build a pad of concrete to fit in that kind of drainage. So you're building a pad of concrete roughly the same size as my bottom layer with my pillar. So theoretically, 4 pillars is all you need, rather than a big pad of concrete and drainage. And you can alter the height of the red one to lift up the pillars. And oftentimes people can use something just as simple as 4 paving slabs. A paving slab is very good area. And you can get bigger size paving slabs, and you just put your 4 paving slabs down, you level them somehow, you could get underneath them with a bit of earth or a bit of whatever, you know. And you've got 4 stable bits. And the thing with these metals pillars, you can cut each of them a different size. If you've one area of the land that's a foot higher than the other, just cut your pillar a foot shorter, put it on something solid, and you'll have a flat surface on the top like these. These are very flat and they're very stable. And the thing with them is, when you get weight on them, they become more stable. So what might look precarious, when you put weight on it, it's more stable. So that's just my little bit of where I'm going with the batteries. And it's roughly a metre there. So within 1 metre, I have a system underneath here where it's mainly made to take two 12s. So I have these breaks here, these bits on the end. So if I was carrying this board upside down and I had one of those batteries there and one of those batteries there, I'd have some protection against movage. So if I turn these upside down or put similar as this up here, I have lineage. So these weren't designed to take the number of batteries on the top. They were designed just to take four safely. But I just, on the top shelf, I moved them back because I wanted to fit in these Jaguar batteries. Because these Jaguars are brilliant. Like I might do my little water feature. I've got some water pumps ordered. And when I get that done, this would be lovely to make a little piece of art with the Jaguar, is it X-Side? With the Jaguar X-Side battery and the water filter on top. And the water filter I'm getting, I can put outside the fountain. So I might just expose the cabling and have the water filter in a few tubes and just click on terminals on the Jaguar battery and the water feature go. I'd love that. I'm looking forward to that. And make something nice out of it, even with rough wood or whatever, you know. But I enjoy this kind of stuff. And my battery charger has my this is a battery charger and it has 6 points in it. Each of the 4 points will take an AA or an AAA. So I never get them the right way around. So that's one of the sizes. And these small ones are the smaller of the sizes. What did I say on them? The big one is the AA and the small one is the AAA, the standard 2 batteries. So this charger will take an AA or an AAA, and it'll take bigger ones as well. It'll take bigger batteries. Where have I got some here? They're in it somewhere else, but bigger batteries. Like for my radio, it takes 6 of them in the back, the bigger batteries. And I can have my portable radio CD player. And this is also taking, the 2 green lights are for 2 9-volt batteries. They take longer to charge. And this is just a time-based charger. It's just charging for time. It has a period of time. It's not doing any calculations. It's you turn it on and it has 2 settings, A and B, and they're different length of time. For the 9 volts, they just stay on all the time. So I give myself a time. At a particular time, I'll say, that's enough, they'll do me. And I'll just continue on. So I'm not doing any testing, and I'm putting them all away in bags and stuff, and I've containers for them, and then I'm going to test them, maybe the whole lot of them, just run through them all and get a voltage for everything. After running all of them through the charger, get a voltage on everything and see how they sit just after the process that has happened and how they've come back to life, what are the voltage ranges, and maybe group them or something, you know. So now these are done. These 4 in it are done. They're charged. Their time is up. So I unplug the charger. There's my 4 charged batteries. And I'm going to give see, they're different sizes even. This charger will take different sizes. Some of the simpler chargers, you're stuck with one size. But this is very flexible because it'll take a load of them. And I take out my 4 batteries. And I knocked out the 9-volt, but that doesn't matter. It'll just get more time. So now I'll go on to my next group. And I'll open the bag. And I'll get out 4 batteries. Put in 1. Just move the 9-volt over again. Put in 2. Get the 3rd one. You just get these in to start, because oftentimes with this process you have to twiggle them a bit to get them a good contact. You don't just plug them in and press go and it goes. Oftentimes with charging batteries there's a bit of work to be done to get them going and stuff, so I'll show you that. So I seat them all. I get my 9-volt back in place. The 9-volt has these 2 pins on it. So these are in the charger. I plug down into them. I get my 4 batteries going. And now these kind of chargers have a time-based thing where they initialize again. And if I plug this in too quickly after taking it out, it'll be on the old time and they won't work. So I just plug that in. And now I have 3 red lights and 2 green. So the 2 green are the 9 volts, and I have 3 of the other batteries. But the one on the end isn't charging. There's no red light. So if I just twist it, I twist it and I make a good contact, and now there's 4 charging. And that'll charge for a period of time, I can't remember what it was, about 8 hours or something. And then I'll take them out and add them into the process, and I'm categorizing them here, putting them into groups and things. So just a little bit of work. And I thought it was different because this is coming up from the ground, whereas the shelving on the heater is coming down. But the great thing about the shelving on the heater, it should be possible to have the heat on as well. You shouldn't be interrupting too much the flow from the top of the heater. And you also have the advantage that you're occluding an area underneath the desk. So where oftentimes your feet can be very cold under a desk, if you're doing that, you might get some heat straight out from the heater trapped under the shelf. So there might be benefits there. I don't know. I'll see with time. Anyway, that's just a look.